Hey, welcome in. It's Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. It is Tuesday, October 14th. Got to double check my watch. Remember what time it is, 14th. This is live weather impact. And boy, we have had just a carbon copy day compared to yesterday. And tomorrow looks even more of a carbon copy. But boy, it looks great out there. I mean, look at that sunset, which, by the way, 6:50 p.m. It's not your imagination. It's getting dark pretty early. It's pretty dark in the morning, too, to be honest with you. Those nights are getting longer. The days are getting shorter. But I do love this time of year because you do get some spectacular sunsets. And this is our Anson County camera because we're looking almost due west here for that sunset. Our other cameras look just as glorious from Monroe to Dallas to Lake Norman to here in Charlotte on our Mr. Sparky camera network. We've got wall-to-wall sunshine, and it was a warm afternoon. In fact, those temperatures jumped up. I'll show you here in a minute, to 81, closer to a record, which the record's 87. That tells you the time of year we're in. When the records are in the mid to upper 80s, we're getting cooler and cooler, but we were closer to that record high than the average low. 80 degrees here, but it's just not us. Most of the eastern half of the country is pretty warm for October standards. Now, if you told me this was early September, we'd take this in a heartbeat and be super happy. But we are now in mid-October, and at some point, it does have to cool down, right? And at some point, it does have to rain, though. Mother Nature doesn't think so, based on the pattern we're going to see. 80 currently here at 6:30 for our show. The sunset's coming up here top of the hour, so we'll see that temperature fall back quickly. And that's one of the benefits of having really dry air in place. You're going to see the temperature cool down pretty quickly. So tonight, 7 p.m., I think we're already back in the low to mid 70s. By 9, we should be in the 60s, and it'll take a while, just like it did this morning, but eventually we'll be in the 50s. It's still going to get cool at night because of that radiational cooling. 57 is nice, but that's nowhere near our average of 51. So we should be getting closer to the upper 40s for overnight lows, and we're seeing a lot more 50s. And I had to check today because we have not officially had a freeze in the mountains yet. And we are now past the average first freeze date for the mountain county. So this is a pretty late frost freeze season setting up even for the mountains. Now tonight, the only reason we're cooling down is because, one, it's dry. We have calm winds, clear skies, and all the ingredients for what we call radiational cooling. That should get us back down into the 50s. But tomorrow, if you love 81, which is a recurring number, we saw it yesterday, it was our high temperature today, and I'm going to forecast it for the high temperature again tomorrow. So 3 days in a row of the same high temperature would be something, wouldn't it? Now, we do have a backdoor front. You see that front to the north, it's dry. What that's going to do is maybe knock our temperatures back to normal. And normal's going to feel cool because of how warm it's been. It's also going to be incredibly dry. One of the parameters we show you a lot here, we have it labeled atmospheric moisture. What this technically is called precipitable water. It's just not the moisture at the ground, which is the humidity and dew points that we feel. This is the moisture through the entire column of the atmosphere. What I mean by that is from the bottom of the troposphere to the top. And when you see it bone dry like that, that is incredibly dry. That's also why I'm not super optimistic about rain chances on Sunday, because you see the front to the west, it's going to have to go through that super dry air, which means a lot of that moisture is going to get eaten up by the dry air. So the rain chances have been trending down for Sunday. They're still there, but they've been trending down. So in full transparency, I wouldn't be shocked to see them trend down further. I'm going to have rain in the forecast, but do not count on it being any effect on the drought or even any kind of, a washout at all. I had someone ask me about that today. I said, they had an outdoor party planned and they wanted to know if it was going to be a washout. And I said, I don't want it to rain on your party, but we could use a washout. And this certainly is nothing like a washout. This is going to be scattered to isolated at best. And just to show you what this looks like, this is the 5-day rainfall forecast, right? So if we go day by day, notice no rain tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, 40% chance. And those darker greens are maybe a quarter of an inch. So this is what it should look like. That first front comes through on Friday, dries us off, almost kind of a completely dry wedge setup. We've got northeast winds, high pressure over New England. So then the front tries to move in. Now, Saturday's dry. Sunday night maybe, here comes the front. Maybe we'll get some moisture out of this. I am not going to be super excited for that because it just does not look like a ton of rain. But if it is going to rain, it's going to be late on Sunday into Sunday evening. And right now, I'm going to keep the rain chances just at 40% because I think that's about the best we're going to be able to muster out of this. Now, even after these two fronts, which briefly cool us down for a day each, Friday, and then the front on Sunday cools us down a little bit on Monday, we're right back above normal for most of next week, which means temperatures likely in the mid to upper 70s, if not close to 80 degrees. So a pretty warm stretch of weather is going to be shaping up for the next 6 to 10 days. And besides the rain chance, the minimal rain chances that we have coming on Sunday, that's probably going to be it. I don't anticipate there being a ton of rain anytime in the next 7 to 10 days. So for your Wednesday, I mean, like I said, if this was September 15th, would be absolutely amazing. Upper 70s to low 80s, but we're a month later, so we should have some cooler weather, and it's bone dry, barely a cloud in the sky to be found tomorrow across most of the region, and even warm in the mountains. So let's take a look at your Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. We'll go day by day here. Wednesday's definitely the warm one. We could easily be near 80 again on Thursday as the front approaches, but once that front clears, it does briefly cool us down, and I mean briefly. 75 on Friday and 48. We could actually end up still being near or slightly above average. Back in the low 80s Saturday. Here comes the front on Sunday. Sunday right now, 40% chance of rain. Stay tuned. This could trend up or trend down depending on how things go. But then we'll go 10 days into the future and show you, man, the rain chances just evaporate after that and it gets warm again. So most of next week we're going to spend in the mid to upper 70s. So a pretty warm stretch of weather. And also notice incredibly dry. The only chance of rain there is going to be on Sunday right now. And even that is not going to help us out with this, which is our drought monitor, which, by the way, goes Tuesday to Tuesday. So even though we won't get it till Thursday, it's going to include all the data from last Tuesday through today. And as you know, it barely rained anywhere on Sunday. So we were in moderate drought from Charlotte into Union County, Lancaster County, out east. I would expect that to be expanding back to the west, but areas in eastern North Carolina and South Carolina will likely see some semblance of improvement there. For us, it looks like it's just going to be more of the same with dry weather persisting. And just a quick look at that temperature trend, just to put in perspective how above average I expect it to be over the next 7 days. So that's the story. I wish we had some rain to talk about or a front, but we do have other things to talk about coming up. After the break, Tim Buckley's going to join me. We're going to talk about the remnants of a typhoon impacting Alaska. We're going to talk about the birdcast, a lot of birds migrating over the Carolinas, and we'll talk a little fall color with Tim coming up after the break.